better hurry, Kaylie.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Welcome back to The Liberal Artist. Hold on, let's slow down. Good morning, afternoon, and evening.
You're cheating, Bo.
Welcome back to the Liberal Artist Podcast.
Stop showing her mercy.
I am your host, Bodio Papula. With me, I have, as always, not rushing to get her daily Duolingo finished, Kaylie Horowitz.
Hello.
and very angry at me for letting her finish Andy Gibby Gibson.
She was who we thought she was, and you let her off the hook.
Me? Slacking on my Duolingo? Never.
Now say that in German.
What?
Frantically pulls up Google Translate.
What? In fairness, I don't think slacking is a word that's commonly used in the Duolingo space.
No.
If it's not about like a place or a noun or a basic verb, it's not going to happen. Also,
owl maxing.
Yeah.
Owl maxing?
I thought I was mad about Kaylie. I'm significantly
yes,
more
there you go.
furious
Direct
about
your
that.
anger at that. That was terrible.
I can do two things at once.
Ooh, efficient. A multitasker. We love to see it.
Unlike Kaylie.
Look at you, task masking.
Tax masking?
The
Tax,
fuck up.
tax maxing and task maxing.
I want you to make better choices with the things you say.
Never. In any language that I learn, I will never do that.
In a continuing theme of Gibby being petty and judgmental this episode, I don't think anybody within our friend circle has ever completed a Duolingo assignment before 11:45 on the dot.
That's
have.
the lingo hour.
I just typically don't. Exactly. It's the lingo hour is 11 o'clock.
The lingoing approaches.
There's the witching hour at 3 a.m, and there's the lingo hour
Right
somewhere
before
before midnight.
Yeah.
You
The
just
owl
look
has
out
to
the
move out of the
window
way for the witches.
You look out the window and you see the owl as well as like the weird lazy bear and all of the amorphous blobs of people that they animate. They're just tapping
all
on
watching.
your window with like a crowbar.
Every time they hit it, it makes the ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding. You're like, ah.
I do remember before Duolingo became like,
Mhm.
oversaturated with characters and so reliant on like social media nonsense content generation a la Gritty as a chaos entity.
Yes.
That energy was just purely condensed in text-based work online and through its notifications.
Right.
And I just miss that simplicity of it,
Sure.
Petty
it was
Duolingo.
ominous in a strange, endearing almost kind of way.
I never used... My usage of Duolingo was primarily when it was just a web browser app. Like, and this is like not 20 years ago, but damn near, maybe 15.
Getting there.
Damn.
Yeah, right. So I never got the scary notifications about the owl waiting for me to come back.
Well, I never used it until I didn't start using Duolingo until I went abroad to visit my like family-in-law for Christmas in Germany.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, fuck. I don't know anything. And started on that trip.
Jewish person in Germany. I need to know what everyone here is saying. That's important to me.
Y'all
That-
fuckers
Ian
are
just
on
does, like,
watch.
Ian does like a hardball version, and I think it's an inherited, well, this is how I started learning. Like, to be fair, one of their parents is a native speaker.
Yeah.
My father-in-law and I think, are just on a similar plane of like, well, I'm just gonna sit and go, yeah,
Yeah.
es regnet.
He's looking at you like, yeah, I've been on this train for 30 years. Like,
Exactly.
get comfy.
Which for Ian
We gotta be
trying to
careful
teach
with
me has
trains,
been
buddy.
Boo.
These things don't mix well.
Again, she needs to understand everything that is being said around her.
Oh, wo ist der Bahnhof? Wo ist die U-Bahn-Station? But no, Ian will do German, it's English is derived out of Germanic form. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of cognates. Here's a word. What do you think that means? Käse.
Why would I know that?
Yeah, cheese. Krank is sick. Maybe you've already heard Krankenwagen, like ambulance, Krankhaus, hospital.
Yeah, put me up in the Krankhaus. Yeah, I'm totally down.
Here's bequem. What?
David?
Bequem. And that's the other thing that they do. They just say it stretched out or louder. And I'm like that doesn't help.
I'm just not understanding it, but slower.
Exactly. But bequem is comfortable. In what fucking world am I gonna put that together to make that logic connection?
It's very funny that your German family does that, because growing up as a kid,
yeah,
that's what people in my
neighborhood
would do.
It's not even that whole family. It's just Ian.
Just Ian. Because like we would, you're talking with all your friends. He's like, yeah, you got that Mega Man. Somebody's like, yeah. Who's Mega Man? You're like, Mega Man, you don't know Mega Man? Mega Man is like, yeah, saying the name 3 times will be like, you know what? You're right. I know who that is now.
Oh, you're so right, bestie. Oh my God.
It's the Beetlejuice rule.
Yeah. If I just invoke it,
you'll get it.
You'll get the knowledge.
And not only that, like when you don't know something and then the kids in the neighborhood shame you for not knowing it, brutal.
Oh, social shaming at its finest, honestly.
Now imagine social shaming, but you're Jewish in Germany and you don't understand the language.
Oh no!
And you're on a train where you have no idea.
I did take a train in Germany to Hamburg.
That's the sandwich.
And we walked around the Reeperbahn so I could send my mom pictures of places that the Beatles performed at.
Okay.
Sure.
Maybe I like it a little more.
The red light district. Oh, the Reeperbahn.
I don't like how...
No,
anyway.
No, not a good...
Yeah,
not a good... No.
Gibby, you were about to say something, or should we get to the main topic?
Let's get to the main topic.
Yo. So,
can't get any worse. Looks at Mel Brooks.
Speaking of Jews,
what are you gonna do?
What do you got going on, Mr. Brooks? I'm gonna dress up like Hitler. But we
she doesn't look Jewish.
we're going.
Gibby is face palming already, dear listeners.
We're going balls deep back into the nostalgia train. Spaceballs deep.
It's the lingo hour.
It's the lingo hour. It's weird. So we all got a little bit of nostalgia for Prince of Egypt. I got nostalgia for Pokemon, the first movie.
Yep.
It's Gibby's turn. Gibby, tell us about Spaceballs.
Put your nostalgia goggles on. Not just the glasses. I need the full rose-colored paint dripping off of them rose-colored goggles strapped to your face.
Mm-hmm. They're also suitable for welding.
Oh, yeah.
So
excellent.
I was, unsurprisingly, a Star Wars kid through and through.
Sure.
I recall watching the pre-special edition VHS tapes.
Oh, man.
Probably at around the age of 4, 5, maybe. Hooked up on, like, the tiny box TV that you could stick a VHS tape directly into.
Was it in the kitchen?
With Dinah?
I'm unfortunately going to show some of my bouginess. My parents would take that TV, plug it into like the cigarette, like, like the charger in the car, like where the cigarette lighter used to be. But like it was like for like electrical purposes, if you needed to run like, the little tire pumper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
On very long road trips, they would take that heavy boxy TV strap it down with bungee cords, and have it sitting on the center console so that I could watch. And
just drive a minivan with a VHS player in the car like the rest of us, okay?
Like the rest of... Man, growing up poor was crazy. I'm glad we can all relate to that, right?
I think we have just seen, like, working class, middle class, the rich.
Like, what the hell do you mean VHS
just have a
in the
TV
car?
built into your car. It's fine.
We
What's
did
this
drive
exhibit
that.
shit?
That van lasted for ages, so
Mhm.
much so that eventually the VHS player part became irrelevant, but we did not get a new car. We just bought like a little, to that point, little portable DVD player, hooked up the aux and monitor, like the red, yellow, white cables, hooked it up to the VHS player
Classic.
and like hot wired it in through the screen.
Yeah,
and went, yep, good enough.
So
Back
Kaylie was rich growing up. Anyways, I was a hardcore Star Wars kid. And it took until about I was 9 or 10 to find out about a little parody movie called Spaceballs. Happened to pop on TV one day on one of the Turner stations. Don't remember which one. Doesn't matter because they all had my back. Loved them. Shout out to Ted Turner.
Thanks, Ted.
Just a quick shout out to Ted Turner.
Thanks, buddy.
First he did WCW, now he did Spaceballs reruns. That's crazy. Syndication. We love it.
Always looking out for me. Thanks for playing Shawshank Redemption for the 20,000th time, Ted.
No one else, just me. All the rest of y'all, no. Ted didn't care about you one bit.
So anyways, a parody, which I was starting to get into anyway, of a thing that I held near and dear to my heart was really just, it couldn't have been better. And the fact that, like, you're 9 and suddenly the funniest movie in the world comes on absolutely blew my mind. I remember watching it from as soon as I saw it was on TV, watched all the way through the credits, busting a gut the entire time. And that was my like first experience with Mel Brooks, because like several years later, at least I hope it was several, given the content of his other work. In the narrative
in my mind, we're going to say, yes, several years later.
Yes, I'm going to pretend like my parents were, in fact, as good of parents as I purported them to be, and that they didn't show me Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein before I was at least like 13 or so.
Yeah.
I started to pick up more and more of those. Absolutely adore them. Adore all of Mel Brooks's work. Adore Mel Brooks. He's just an absolute titan, and I really don't think it could have been a better start for me with the genre, for his work, and for parody. Like, where did you start with Mel Brooks, and when was the first time you were familiar with Spaceballs, Kaylie?
I think that's what I've been trying to like think back on, because in some ways, I feel like I should have been more of a Star Wars kid.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, as the prequels were coming out, while we were growing up, we were kids, I loved the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
2D
that was
animated.
I was like, maybe it was the animation of everything. Well, no. Oh, no, let me be clear. I don't mean like the series that was on Cartoon Network. It's great. But like, I mean, as a 5-year-old, I would ask my parents to put on repeat the Clone Wars, like Attack of the Clones, the movie, over and over for some fucking reason. Don't know why. Wow. I do not know why. I think back into my conscience, and I do not know why that was the case. I got very upset, and I think that was because, well, my parents figured out, because they're, big, my dad especially, big nerd, big space sci-fi kind of nerd.
Sure.
So I think he was just excited that I was like able to sit and hold attention by that movie, not just Disney stuff, but like by Star Wars in general. I remember when they went out to go watch like the Phantom Menace,
Revenge of the Sith.
I was. No, you're right. Revenge of the Sith.
I had to push up my glasses.
No, Phantom
there.
Menace is first. I'm getting him backwards. Again, goes to show that's like, at some point I stopped caring. But I remember being so upset that I could not go watch Revenge of the Sith in the theaters with my parents. And then years later went, oh, that's why.
Yeah. To dunk on you real quick, my mom checked me out of the last day of school so that we could go see it in the afternoon matinee. So,
and that's what I was just like, I was like, what do you mean this was too scary for me? I don't... Okay, there's some lava and some violence. Oh,
there's a little bit of child murder. There's a little bit of that.
Master Skywalker, what do we do? Anyway,
I think that would have been a lot for you to handle, for certain.
Maybe. But I, again, had it growing up, knew Star Wars. But I'm honestly trying to remember when Mel Brooks entered the picture, because I think, honestly, it was somewhere in just, like, fandom access for me. Because I think I would always hear my dad joke about, like, Mel Brooks-style sketches. Monty Python, I think, was more of my first introduction to, like, parody stuff.
Yeah. If
that makes sense, even though less of it was parody and more just comedic and sketch material.
Which Monty Python?
Holy Grail. And then I think shortly after, like, Life of Brian. But, like, a lot of that starts intersecting with Mel Brooks. And I think if I consciously knew what Mel Brooks movies and Mel Brooks style things was producers because of musical theater.
Yes.
But then learned, Young Frankenstein. Like, again, like middle school, high school. Yeah, the ripe age where exactly by, like, between 10 to 12, you start, like, not only finding the slapstick of Mel Brooks funny, like, again, a lot of just the, like, here's the silly jokes, like in Spaceballs. It's like, that's not the laser, sir. That's the coffee machine. Oh, of course it's the coffee machine. Yeah. Now where's the radar? Literally right next to it. Like, those things are funny, but then you get the idea that it's funny to make fun of other things.
Yes.
And to feel smart that you know what those things are that we're making fun of. Like, that's primely when it clicks, is like 13 years old.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, yes, this is humor. This is intelligent humor. You babies laughing at fart jokes and things. This is adult. I have to be quite intelligent reference
to be able
material.
To understand Mel Brooks's work.
And so I think that started, like, because again, and I would always hear people talk about Blazing Saddles, and I never got to watch that, I think, until I was like 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I think Spaceballs just sort of got away from me in some ways, because I remember watching Battlestar Galactica.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I saw Vampires Suck. Like, I saw parody movies when they were still happening. Scary Movie. Like, the sort of 2000s. Because, again, we started doing less parody. And I need us to do more of it again, God damn it. Lampoon more things. It took a while for me to actually get back into the, like, okay, here is the Mel Brooks catalog. And there are things that I now know that are riffing on his work. But here's where it started. Here are some of those staples of his parody work.
Yeah. It's so interesting, and I'll want to bring this up later, talking about the difference between, like, Mel Brooks's work and the standard, like, teen movie parody that we see in the late 90s, early 2000s to mid 2000s. But first, we should probably loop everybody in on what exactly happens in this movie. So
no, never mind, don't.
As they say in the opening scroll, in a galaxy very, 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 very far away.
Very, very. Yep.
We essentially have a recreation of Star Wars. You have some of your more stock characters from it, such as Rick Moranis, our king, playing...
Wait, I was about to say, can we just take a moment to be like, God, I love Rick Moranis.
Indeed.
And I understand why he's, like, again, he did what he came to, like, to Hollywood and to, like, filmmaking and comedy to do, and then was like, fuck you all, I'm out of here.
Family shit.
And I'll only come back for Spaceballs too. But I forget. I'm just like, I love the way I love his comedic timing.
Yes.
I really love his just character embodying, but it just sucks that I feel like it's only this or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know?
Or Ghostbusters.
Or Ghostbusters. That's true.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 things to pick from.
Yes. He plays Dark Helmet, the oversized, gigantic helmet parody of Darth Vader, which I think is just such a treat, especially with costuming, to have this nerdy little guy have to lift up this flap on his helmet all the time to talk, and they get away with so much. I'm getting ahead of myself. Essentially, Dark Helmet, Colonel Sanders, and President Shroob.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure that I'm getting that.
Scroob.
Yes.
Scroob. Yeah.
Distinct from President Scoob, which is when Scooby-Doo briefly got political for a while in the 70s. It was a wild time. You have the 3 of them as these bumbling idiots who are the bureaucracy of the Spaceballs. A bunch of assholes in space.
Yep.
Well, not literally, just like a bunch of guys who happen to be named assholes.
Right.
And they have so critically mismanaged their entire civilization that they're running out of clean air. So their idea is to suck up all of the clean air from a neighboring planet. How are they going to do this? They are going to kidnap Princess Vespa, our Princess Leia parody, as well as her C-3PO equivalent, Doc Matrix, which, hell yeah. But they are intercepted by our heroes, our version of Han and Chewie, in this case, Lone Star and Barf.
Yep.
Other major cast members, you have Joan Rivers as Dot, you have John Candy as Barf, and you have Bill Pullman as Lone Star, and Daphne Zuniga as Princess Vespa. You also have a lot of other great characters, such as Mel Brooks, not only playing President Scroob, but also playing Yogurt the Magnificent, our parody version of Yoda, and a smattering of other fun little pop-ups, like having Michael Winslow as one of the Stormtrooper guys, and Dom DeLuise as the voice of Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
Essentially, it kind of follows along the story of Star Wars, the original, of like, we sort of kind of, we have like a princess, she's kidnapped, but we also have these charming rogues who are in debt and need to take care of some business. We
do just decide to consolidate Luke and Han into one body, though.
Which I think is probably for the best.
Sure. Yeah, no, because I'm like, I don't know. I think either of them separately as parody characters would become grating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You take the better parts of both of them and you put them into one. I think it would also be overwhelming, considering the fact that while John Candy is our parody of Chewbacca, he's also able to talk and not just go and other guttural sounds, which I think of all the characters, he adds the most heart to it, mostly because it's John Candy and he's just good in everything. But
face work is so, like, expression work, the ears, the puppeteering of that.
Yeah.
I might be too in the weeds for now, but, like, the tail and the ears are puppeteered robotics, and I think had, like, team of 3 or 4 puppeteers.
Spectacular.
Working on them for. And I'm just like, oh,
yes,
this is delightful. It's so silly. I love it.
That's the whole thing. Like, I think what makes the core of this movie work is beyond having it based on Star Wars, as well as many other famous space operas and sci-fi, there is a seriousness in how they pay attention to the little details.
Yeah.
With all of the silliness going on, you can tell that there was a lot of effort and thought that went into this, from everything from what you were mentioning with Barf's ears and tail, to the tiny little gags that like nobody will notice in the background, as well as like, God, I think this might be the best movie for breaking the fourth wall. Of like all of the fourth wall breaking movies, I think they do this the best, where they do it just enough times that it doesn't get like annoying, but they also take like full advantage of the medium.
I want to come back to that note later, because not that I did not like Spaceballs, because again, it's Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic, like, himself and his team of writers that are also playing characters in this movie.
Yep.
Because there's only so many people that we have on set. No, like, they do great work. I want to come back to the fourth wall stuff later.
Okay.
But the details, like, again, I love parody and lampooning movies because they have to accomplish, the film that they are portraying with like less than a tenth of the budget to make them sometimes.
Yeah.
Not always, because again, Star Wars was also shoestring when it was made. But the fact though that they are still having to be scrappy and resourceful and clever about what they're doing and still make it feel like a world that's lived in, make it feel right for what it's supposed to represent in the original context. There's a few characters, like Barf included, but like a few others that are like, your alien creatures, whatever. To my knowledge, there are no prosthetic pieces used in this movie. It is either painted makeup, like I'm thinking of the robot, the tin. Oh, what is his name over the video? Sort of video calls.
The Max Headroom parody.
Yeah. Yes. He that is not prosthetics. They painted his jaw and his cheeks to just look that razor sharp.
Crazy.
It's great makeup. Barf is similarly. There's I think kind of something I've heard through the costuming for this movie. Where they were gonna make him more prosthetic-y, more Chewie-esque.
Yeah.
But they realized it's like we can't see John Candy's expressions.
Yeah.
Like in his just sort of screen testing or chemistry testing. He's so expressive and it's so good.
Yes.
For this kind of movie that they minimize the makeup and put the rest of that budget back into the ears and tail, like other things that they could use to still make him dog-like in other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Even when like I'm thinking of the desert, the camping scene.
Yeah.
The set, the backdrop is real. Obviously, like again, we're still not green screening everything quite yet, but it's real and it's meant very clearly to still homage both Star Wars looks and like 1940s sci-fi, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was also part of what Brooks wanted to bring into this parody. Like, it's not just Star Wars, but it's also like 40s kitschy B sci-fi.
Yeah.
In the mix of the premise-ish enough of Star Wars.
Yeah, because that's what Star Wars is based on. Like,
thought it was samurai.
Well, it's that as well. Like,
this old chestnut, yay!
Well, it's like Star Wars is in some ways Kurosawa with all the samurai stuff, with like the sword fighting and ennui and feelings, masculine feelings. But also, like, George Lucas cited the Flash Gordon series as like a major influence. Like, I think this is the right word for it. Retrofuturism. No, that can't be the right word. Like, essentially they're trying to make
that is something. I don't know if it's what you mean.
No. Like, I think retrofuturism is probably more close to like atom punk or something like that. Yeah, but like Star Wars is trying to make like this futuristic world feel old and dusty and lived in, which like for a parody, I think they still kind of get some of that. Like, partly because they take what Star Wars is and they make it ridiculous. Like,
oh, for sure.
It was so frustrating and funny to me when I was 9 that the opening crawl with not the opening crawl, but the opening shot with the spaceship coming through, and it takes like 3 minutes, and then they finally add in a joke.
Stupid gag. It's so
it just keeps
so good.
Going. Like, it feels like the primordial soup of Seth MacFarlane's work.
Yes. Honestly, that's absolutely it.
Yeah, like the whole deal is just that, like, they'll take that and they'll stretch it and they'll make it ridiculous, and then it gets funny again by the time that you get mad at it.
Right.
But it's also an homage or a parody to not just Star Wars, but also Alien, because if you've ever seen the original Alien, that shit takes like 20 minutes for that ship to get past the screen.
Yeah.
And I think that's partly what makes it work, is that there is a love for what they're parodying. Like, if there
100%.
wasn't that love, they wouldn't have put the amount of detail in to, like you said, make it feel lived in, to have all these costumes that are clearly making fun of something, but also being clear enough that we know who they are without hitting us over the head with a mallet all the time and just being like, it's this, here's a name tag, like a Ben Garrison political cartoon or something like that. Like you said, like, everything's distinct, everything has its own like aesthetic. It's silly, but like there's a lot of care.
It's a Mel Brooks movie. What do you mean it's silly? Come on.
Well, like, here's the thing. This feels really different in some ways than your standard Mel Brooks. Like, the feeling of this movie versus Young Frankenstein, for example, is really different, because like Young Frankenstein feels a little bit more story focused with like the gags along the way, versus this, it's like, yes, we're still following the basic beats, but like, we'll take some time to have some fun, you know?
Well, and this is where I want to, we'll go just get to it now. Let me just clean house right away.
Sure.
Part of that fourth wall difference feeling that I'm like, I enjoy Spaceballs. I don't know if I fully have become a believer. I don't know, because I've seen this as a criticism and I go, ooh, yeah, that I think I agree with.
Yeah.
Where Young Frankenstein, when Gene Wilder was pitched by Brooks to star and direct, he was like, hey, I sure, but I need you to stay behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to not come fuck around with shit too much. Like, I want this to be about the story, the writing. Like, the writing is strong. Your actors are really strong. Like, let us play it let us play it deathly seriously because it's a comedy.
Yeah.
And you get a couple of moments of Brooks doing that, like, cheeky, like, yeah, here's the joke, here's the like wink to the audience. But it's so much more the actors taking the script, taking the story, and like, we are in this. We don't pay attention to the audience. Whereas Spaceballs is one of the most egregious, not even just the self-referential. Like, I love the bits of the, like, we're going to incorporate the Star Wars merchandise machine into Spaceballs itself. I'm like, I do love that. I love the, like, oh, rewind the tape. No, that's too far. Like, that bit, like, that stuff's great. Yeah. But it's all these extra moments of just like, oh my God, we get it. We're watching a movie. Like, how many times are we going to wink out to the fucking camera? It becomes annoying to me at a certain point. And I think it's also, some of them also have a weird timing pacing on this one where we just continue to linger.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's some moments it hits for sure. But it feels egregious to me at a certain point.
I'm still such a fan of, like,
oh, sure,
their lightsaber battle accidentally hitting like a crew member.
Oh, yes. No, which again, I think is one of those where it's like, no, that's funny. Yeah. That is like conceptually funny thinking about this as Star Wars. That's great.
Yeah. Is it when
there's-
Dark Helmet runs into the camera by accident that you take umbrage with?
Not even some of those. It's just these like the at first when they're talking about like the princess plot.
Yeah.
And he like literally just dead ass Rick Moranis like turns to the camera. You got that? Good. Like we're like by itself is okay, but we build up those little sorts of things to a point where I'm just like, stop talking to me.
In a weird way, it kind of feels like a bridge between Mel Brooks's original parodies and what we would see with those later parodies of the early 2000s. Like, there's similar things to that when you look at like the Scary Movie series or like Not Another Teen Movie or Date Movie or things like that. And I think where they fail is that they're trying to do the Mel Brooks thing by like getting meta or getting like over the top, but I think they often lack the love for the source material, or at least like the respect of the source material. Like,
I think they try really, really hard, like Scary Movie and Beyond, to be edgy. Sidebar, I've been quiet for the last 20 minutes. Hey guys, don't get sick in the middle of recording of a podcast episode.
You good, bud?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
But
brave soldier.
With stuff like, I think the first Scary Movie definitely carries that kind of Mel Brooks energy, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, we like Scream, but we also like pothead humor. Let's do that. But by your fourth round, you kind of have to make the machine work. And then the stuff like Not Another Teen Movie, superhero movie, whichever other ones, they just said X movie. It felt like they were just
suck.
Yeah, I felt like they were just crank the money machine and see what comes out. How do we get people to laugh? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like a lot of places take the wrong lesson from Mel Brooks. Like, I'm not going to say that like edgy didn't happen, because like
they say fuck.
Blazing Saddles is
they get one fuck. Yeah,
Blazing Saddles is a really edgy movie because it's talking about racism. Like, and like even with the producers, it's like, Springtime for Hitler. Like, it's intentionally like offensive, but that's like the point because they're trying to tank it. But the problem is, so many like directors and hacks came along in that period of parody where they thought, just like, I don't know, make Carmen Electra into Mystique, and that's an X-Men parody.
I also think there's a level of, like you were saying, Gibby, care, passion, and discretion that Mel Brooks finds, especially with the dude. I think the funniest joke in the world is, we're combing the desert.
We're combing the
Everybody
desert,
has
sir.
these. I recognize as the combs that I would buy from Walmart as a kid. And then the two guys with the pick, an Afro pick, are like, we ain't found shit. That's
sometimes
awesome.
It's just so funny to just have a man with his full chest say, we ain't found shit. Like, sometimes absolutely that is the funniest fucking delivery.
But to write that kind of joke and explicitly be like, let the black people do it.
Yeah.
As opposed, in my one-to-one parallel is, I like Robert Downey Jr. I like a lot of the people in this movie. I will never forgive them for Tropic Thunder. I get that him being in blackface and him being a bad guy is a joke. It's still blackface.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I feel like Mel Brooks would be like, no, that's crossing a line.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the closest example I can think of is in Blazing Saddles, where like Mel Brooks does Redface, where like he's playing a Native American, but the joke is that like when like somebody tries to talk to him, he's actually speaking Yiddish. So that's at least somebody they're playing.
And if somebody of that culture didn't forgive him for that, I would be like, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Also, I gotta shout out in the like combing the desert bit. They didn't have to do it, but the fact that they gave Dark Helmet a costume change where he's wearing a pith helmet version of
so
his
good.
oversized helmet, and he just opens up the little face on the front. They didn't have to do it, but they did that, and god damn it, I'm so glad they did it.
It's so funny.
I do love again, other just stupid humor. The megaphone bit comes out of that same scene where it's just like prop comedy. Give this man a prop that he's using to speak and have a normal conversation with a person right next to him, and then have him not use the megaphone to shout at the dudes combing the sand.
Yeah.
Like, genius. Stupid genius. 10 out of 10.
But to also Kaylie's point when I walked in, it is not very strange. I had a good time. It is strange that it's bit after 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 bit, and I'm like, slow down, please. Let me enjoy plot a little bit.
Like, we're still telling a story for sure, but it's definitely a level. Like, I wasn't quite sure where to put in like Galaxy Quest and all of this. Like, we're talking about space parodies and silly space movies, and I mentioned Battlestar Galactica, and I think that was one of those. I saw this with Firefly and saw like other takes on sci-fi.
Yeah.
But of like, again, I've never really like clicked with a sci-fi franchise. I think Galaxy Quest was the closest to that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I love making fun of the genre, but I love that it's also still telling its own story. And again, that is not like parodying in the same way that Brooks is doing here, but that like we're still having bits and we're still mocking the trope. And maybe that is the difference, where that's looking at the trope of sci-fi versus specifically Star Trek or something else, versus like for this being, we're looking at Star Wars. We're also looking at, 40s sci-fi and the American bureaucracy and government and a couple other little things that Mel wants to throw in here to throw some punches at. But I'm like, there's that difference
of 80s sexism, and bam, we got a male Brooks movie.
But like, it's that difference of like, I love how we balance humor and plot there. And maybe that's part of it, is that like, well, because we're targeting one specific thing primarily, we're gonna punch at it a lot more directly with the bits and the way that those are interspersed with us trying to move the plot.
Yeah, it's like the hero's journey is happening. There's an arc. There's a story being told. Like, we have structure. It just takes a backseat to all the bits that we want to fit in. And it's not like what we see later down the line, where it's like bits for the sake of bits, no story whatsoever, a la like Family Guy compilations and everything. But it is...
The cutaway gags have gone too far. There, I said it.
But it is like not as story heavy and character focused as Young Frankenstein producers Blazing Saddles, because those are like much more structured in that way. Like those are like the sheriff's story or Dr. Frankenstein's story. And it's like, I guess technically this is like Lone Star's story, but only because we kind of have to have a story in an arc.
It's more like Helmet's story, but yeah, basically.
Shot in the dark, I imagine the writers and the actors, performers, comedians, whoever, were just having a good time.
Yeah.
And they were like, put that in, put that in, put that in.
Apparently Moranis was such a menace on set. He kept making people break that it was costing them more takes to do a fucking scene over and over again. Like, that was awesome. Like one of those like rumors from set. The doll scene was also an improv that they were just like, fuck it, put it in the movie.
There's the doll scene. I also, the alien reference just at the end in the diner. It's like,
right.
Why is this here? Like, somebody thought of this and they were like, no, make that happen. Where do we put it?
God,
we fashioned an entire scene around it.
Yeah,
like, not to just list things real quick, but I'm gonna list things real quick.
List things.
Right, Star Wars,
we love
Star Trek, Alien. We had some, like, of all things, Max Headroom. We fit Max Headroom in there. Why the fuck not? Like, of all the things to be parodied in a sci-fi movie, Prince Valiant, the ongoing like comic strip that they make him a narcoleptic by calling him Prince Valium.
Prince Valium.
Like,
That's good. It's good.
There's just so many like bits per minute that like it's pretty easy to lose track of everything that like is getting parodied at the same time.
Yeah. But the narrative's still
there
coherent.
was meant to be a bigger Pizza Hut joke.
Pizza the Hut? I think
Pizza the Hut.
they've spent way too much time on that costume for it to be
That's the
one-off.
thing. Do you think there was meant to be the hope of a bigger joke and they never got the deal through? Like obviously, like Mel Brooks got like the blessing from George Lucas to go ahead with this. But it's not like, do you think they had an idea for a Pizza Hut joke? And then it was like, well, we can't do a direct name drop, so we just made this whole costume exactly, so we can't get rid of it. So
that that costume is so gross and so nasty.
It's disgusting.
Oh my god, when the pepperoni falls from his like forehead into his mouth and
it's like pulsating. Again, to kind of fuel the nostalgia, some other friends and I are doing we've had an ongoing Star Wars Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Nerds.
Yeah, proud of it. And the DM for this is also a Spaceballs fan. So he's decided that Pizza the Hut has a whole Hut clan with them.
Excellent.
So the Hut we deal with this Spaghetti the Hut.
I thought you were gonna say Stromboli.
Oh god,
no,
that's his cousin.
But I think that again, the thing we want to avoid is just sitting here for the next 10 minutes that we have left and just naming joke after joke after joke after joke. But it's like the stuff that hits really, really. The jokes are good, even if they're silly and they're kind of stupid. It's like good, mostly harmless humor. Which I feel like we don't get anymore, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like that same edge as a lot of like the earlier stuff, which I think is fine when it's like focused on silly and goofy stuff, you know? It's not something that's trying to say anything in the same way that like his earlier work can, which I think is fine. I think the whole deal is that the writing is great, but what really brings it together and really lifts it up to be one of my favorites is the performances.
Like, for sure.
Everybody puts their whole ass into their performances, and I cannot tell you why Colonel Sanders is my favorite character in this whole thing.
No, but like I get it. No, that makes sense.
There's something about like the anxious seriousness he brings to every single line, and it's like in the small things. Like the same thing can be said with like him, or with like the earnestness of John Candy, or the Joan Rivers-ness of Joan Rivers.
Oh my god.
Like, that's
not Dot. That's just Joan Rivers.
The ADR.
Will you take me for an idiot?
The ADR in this movie is so crazy because it's like so obvious that that's not Joan Rivers. It's just her doing a voiceover. It's like...
I don't think you could have cast it any better, and I don't think you could have convinced anybody to perform any better. It's like everybody understood exactly what every scene requires, and I don't know. I just think that like it's perfect parody performance in so many ways.
No, it's a classic. How do you? Because we're all young enough that we weren't around when this movie got released. Sure. Like by the time we were all aware of it, it had to have been 10, 20 years old. 20 years old going on.
20 easy.
How do you feel about it getting like really, really tepid reviews when it came out, as opposed to how much of a beloved cult classic it is now?
I feel like that happened because people were expecting it to be like a Producers or Blazing Saddles. Like, I mean, Producers, Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein are like comedy perfection, each in their own like individual ways. And I think because this is just like, let's have a good time making fun of like a well-known IP, I think that probably disappointed people in some way, in that like it wasn't the let's revolutionize an entire genre. Let's make everybody want to do exactly what we just did, you know? And so I think it's gained a lot of popularity over time as like you have new generations of Star Wars and sci-fi fans coming in, cycling in with like every new trilogy that comes out. I think that really is the big part of it, that like at the time it wasn't like groundbreaking, but later on you see a fondness for it that grows and grows.
Or it also started like kind of missing the window of hype, because parody works, I think, especially critically at least in the moment that it comes out. I think parody always works best when it's that like, and here's the thing, it's directly kind of like mocking, you know, it's shortly coming after something like that. Or Vampires Suck was happening during the Twilight franchises, like heyday. Movies were still happening. It was culturally everywhere. Yes, in some ways, Star Wars has not left us, but Star Wars as a fan culture feels a lot different when there's another fucking movie coming out versus when it's just a Tuesday and something's happening on Disney Plus instead.
Yeah.
Like, it feels different. And at this point, Star Wars, as you know, it had been known at the time, was like, well, are we done? Are we?
Yeah, there were no prequels at that point.
Oh, fuck. George is cooking up something. Shit.
Yeah, it's like 1987. The Return of the Jedi came out in 83. So there's been like some time since then. Like, if it came out like in the middle of everything being released, it might be different. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think they also wanted to have room to work with without stepping on toes. I stole this tidbit, at least, from I think Nostalgia Critic talked about this, because I cannot find where this was in an interview or something like that. Mm-hmm. But during the, blessing conversation with George Lucas, that they were told, yes, you can do this, but you're not allowed to make merchandise.
Yeah, that was an interview with AV Club.
I was like, I could not like find it just off the top, but I was like, I believe it. Yeah, especially for like the deal that, because again, Star Wars itself like wasn't projected to be like a profitable thing, but boy oh boy, could they make a shit ton of toys off of it that that makes total sense. So I love that on the one hand we just doubled down on it in the film, but then also some of those are fucking horrifying. I'm glad that doesn't exist, because I know some of these weird diehard fans, looks at Gibby, would have collected all that weird little shit. And I don't know how I'd feel about that.
My folks did not let me have Spaceballs the flamethrower, unfortunately.
You don't want Spaceballs the comic with just a picture of Optimus Prime on the front?
The bed sheets.
Honestly, like the fact that they had that, as well as the fact that like they had an actual Transformer be part of the plot and the threat, made me laugh so hard, because when I first saw it, I was in peak Transformers fandom.
This movie was made for me.
It really was. Like, it's so funny to look back at, because it's like Star Wars was like my early childhood, and then later on I pick up Alien, I pick up Transformers, I pick up Star Trek and everything else. And so like I can go back and, after exploring more and more of the genre, appreciate more about like the things that they're making fun of. And also all the adult jokes that like I didn't pick up on as a kid. Like the stupid plastic surgeon nurse one that's just like, I bet she gives great helmets. Shut the fuck up, Rick. God. Shut the fuck up.
Rick, get out of here.
How do we feel about Spaceballs 2?
I'm
30
scared.
years later.
Are they subtitling it The Search for More Money or not?
No. Right now it's called Spaceballs.
Then what's the fucking point?
Fair enough.
I wonder about like what will be the focus of it. Because a lot of like the original cast, whoever's still alive is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Wars has been, but it also hasn't been the cultural fixture in that like the prequel trilogy came out and for 2/3 of it people were like,
what, 6 years ago now?
Sucks. Oh no, I'm talking about like the prequels, like Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Like, and then they went, oh shit, Revenge of the Sith was pretty good actually.
It's pretty sweet.
And so like it was like big again, but then it like drops off. And then we get the announcement Disney buys Star Wars. We have the new trilogy, and it makes a fuck ton of money, and it has for a time like that cultural pull again.
Yeah.
But instead of the moment like of it like dropping off, it's kind of more of like a peaks and valleys, but like smaller than
they're
like,
doing their
typically.
darndest to make, instead of relying on waves to come in, they're trying to make a wave pool.
Yeah.
Where they're not, the waves aren't great. They're not like fantastic, like gnarly, like that's gigantic, that's insane. But they're making a wave pool by just constantly churning out content so that it's always at least kind of relevant.
Yeah, like
because the base exists to that capacity where they can just do that.
And it does, and sometimes it works really well, and Star Wars becomes like the cultural fixture again, like most evidently with The Mandalorian, in a hard
Grogu show.
Yeah, the Baby Yoda show. Yeah.
Thank you.
And like, you have other products that really make a splash, like Andor, but I feel like they keep trying to like sustain the momentum, and it's like sometimes it works, and sometimes it just builds like disdain. Like
it's too much stuff.
There's so much stuff that it kind of oversaturates the market, and like other than the hardcore fans, like it doesn't hit as much as they want it to. Like,
I think it's the exact opposite.
Sure.
I think people who are just watching stuff to watch it are like, yeah, it's more stuff. I'll consume the candy. But hardcore fans, like, you'll go on online space and it's like, well, Star Wars fans don't like anything Star Wars. It's like, no, they like some of it. They like the stuff that's like of higher quality. They like the first season of The Mandalorian. They like pretty consistently Andor. They like Rogue One. I think that movie sucks, but a lot of people like it.
I fucking love. I love Act 3. Everything else, I don't know. But...
It's a bad Star Wars movie that turns into a bad World War II movie. I don't like it.
Yeah,
but
I like it.
But it is. I think it's interesting because we have Spaceballs 2 coming, and we also have the new Scary Movie coming. So hopefully on this 90s nostalgia bin, big media seems to be on, maybe the classy parody movie can come back.
I would love to see it. I also, well, I'll save that for the end point. On
we are
Spaceballs 2. I mean, sure. Okay, fine. Then 1, I can't wait for the campy drag train movie.
Stop that train.
Have y'all seen Stop That? I'm like, you say that, like, I hope 90s nostalgia, like, parody stuff comes back. I just need camp and parody to come back into fashion. And it looks like recession indicator. That looks like we're doing just that.
You think I don't know that a RuPaul campy movie is coming to theaters?
Oh, I know you do. I know you do. But like, to Bo's point, where it's like, hey, I would love to see this come back into the mainstream. I feel like we have a lot of television, like comedy gold sort of things of like continuing that torch. But because it's harder to actually get, budgeted and backed and produced and all that jazz, I feel like we don't have like a film, like the next Mel Brooks kind of thing right now. We don't have like a singular person who is carrying that weight for culture right now.
Yeah.
I hope we do. I hope we get one.
Well,
for Spaceballs, no, go ahead.
All of our comedy directors are turning into like horror and drama directors. Like, we're never going to get another Key and Peele movie because Jordan Peele's busy inventing new ways to scare us. Like,
we have to outscare the things that we currently live through.
Yeah, like we can't do all that many Judd Apatows because they're going to get serious again.
Right.
And they're going to reveal something about humanity. And it's just like, God damn it.
Fucking filmmakers, stop making statements. Just make shit. Just stop.
I was about to say, it's absurd. Nothing matters. So do whatever you want. Not pessimistic, nothing matters, but yeah, exactly. Silly little gesture. Nothing matters. It's fine.
I think that you can have like all these parody movies and still have a point and a structure to it. Like, Blazing Saddles is one of the greatest parodies of all time. It effectively killed the Western because it took all of the seriousness out of it, and we didn't see another Western for like 20 plus years.
We got Django, baby.
Yeah,
Django.
Baby. Unforgiven.
Excuse me, you're forgetting about Rango?
Shut up.
That too. But like, the point of the movie is making fun of the absurdity of racism. Like, I think you can still have like a point with your parody, and
100%.
as long as you put like love and care into it, and don't just try to say like, here's a Napoleon Dynamite costume that we got from the costume shop. He's going to do a dance. There's going to be a fart sound effect, and then some lady takes her top off. As long as you don't like slip into that abyss of laziness and cookie cutter script writing and bullshit, I think you can still get something good out of it.
Yeah.
So if Spaceballs 2 is going to be good,
hopefully
we're going to parody.
Hopefully.
Well, I was going to say, the things to include to hit those tallies.
Yes.
We're parodying the new Star Wars shit, presumably. Maybe some prequel shit, too. Because, again, Spaceballs is based on not just Star Wars, but also Mel Brooks wanting to clap back at the American governmental administrations.
Sure.
Not just one in particular, but going, Americans elect the wrong person every single time. They never elect the best person for what will actually help them.
I can't make a decision. I'm the president.
Exactly. So, clearly, I think we're going to get that.
In
Spaceballs 2. There's no way around that.
Gee, what could that be about? We have no basis over the last 10 years of what that could be about.
Baby Yoda something or other.
Sure.
Gross.
I feel like needs to exist in some way to make it justifiable. Spaceballs 2, Grogu, Baby Yoda, all that kind of shit parodies.
What other sci-fi properties? Like Stranger Things?
No.
Like
Dune, for sure.
I don't know. I feel like they have
Dune.
so much in just Star Wars to shit on, though, now.
Yeah. Definitely Dune. Definitely Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek's still around on television. It's still huge. And then the Star Trek movies came out like 10 years ago now.
I don't think people remember enough about the Star Trek movies specifically.
You leave Hollywood's third favorite Chris alone.
Sorry, Mr. Pine.
Oh, Pine.
He's my second favorite Chris. He might be my favorite sometimes.
He's a pretty good Chris.
He's a good Chris.
Chris. He's a good Chris. We love the D&D movie.
I still haven't seen it.
Damn. It just doesn't feel like there's as many sci-fi movies that like are gonna like be like crystal clear. Here's a parody like opportunity.
Ready Player One.
Oh
fuck!
I'm also very interested because Mel Brooks is still alive, but he's also very much so a man of the 60s and 70s still.
Yeah.
I wonder what's come out in the last 40 years that he even cares about.
Exactly.
Look, here's all I need to know. He's an old man that fucking hates the Nazis. So there's gonna be some good parody of that and like all the dipshits of like the alt-right and like he's gonna have some sort of parody if he's familiar at all with like all the podcast boys and Proud Boys.
Please tell me we're gonna get the manosphere on the sphere. I think that would be hysterical.
That's really funny.
That's good.
Like it
have
writes
to have one of his
itself.
grandkids.
This is why this man has had to like go back and forth on, am I gonna do this, am I not?
Yeah.
Shit writes itself because the world in which we live in is abso-fucking-lutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know what isn't ridiculous? our lovely listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this ride.
Mm-hmm.
Gibby, Spaceballs, man, you're right. It's fucking dope. It's great.
It's just a good time.
It's just a good time.
Watch some Spaceballs with some cheese balls.
Watch some Spaceballs with some cheese balls.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on your favorite podcast listening application. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Join us next time where we don't leave the recording to go and vomit for 10 minutes.
Oh no.
I don't have anything witty for that. That's horrible.
Peace.
The Liberal Artists Podcast premieres every other Thursday on your favorite podcasting platform. The show is hosted by Bodio, Kaylie Horowitz, and Andy Gibson. You can find the show at LibArtistsPod on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks to White Hot for performing the theme song Reflect, which can be found on freebeats.io. Now, I'm off to go exploring, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find a sheep that I can call my own. Good day.
Mel, come on the pod. Let's play some Street Fighter.
Dude,
It's
I was
time.
just gonna say I would love a history of the world, like as a podcast. I
Yeah.
think you could do a lot of
That'll
that.
be really good.
Who
Oh, yeah.
does Mel Brooks main in Street Fighter?
Ooh, a
Who's the
better
most
question.
Jewish Street Fighter character.
It's just Mel Brooks. Just 99.
Just Mel Brooks. He goes in
Just put him in the game.
He picks up the controller. He apparates into the UI. You're like, oh,
Well, doesn't surprise me. Didn't know he could do that, but I'm not
was
surprised.
not aware of your game, Mr. Brooks. Fair enough.
Top fucking tier.